I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
And this is...
something new.
Flux
Amuck-Caterpillar.
This is actually a band, kind of unsigned, kind of undergroundish type band. And if you, dear listener, would like your personal song, for your band on the channel, send me an email, vinandsori@gmail.com, and
or jump on Patreon. There's a tier on there for that.
There's a tier for that.
And talk to me.
Or talk to Sori. So if you want to talk to Vincent, you send an email. If you want to talk to Sori, do it on Patreon.
Oh no, that's why that was there.
Yeah. So this is Flux.
Okay, yeah. So this is their song here. We're gonna put
all their socials.
Yeah, the links, everything's going to be in the description of this video, so you can check it out. And as you all know, we do not guarantee good reviews. Right. So you and I are jumping into this all together, and we shall see what we think about this new and upcoming band. The kids have been showing me, what's that, America's Got Talent or something like that? Yeah. And Simon.
Yeah.
That guy's a jerk.
Simon Cowell, you're just now figuring that out.
Yeah, well, I've never seen him before, but he's legit mean. Like, these people are... He told the girl that she was useless or something like that.
Hilarious. This dude has been, like, terrorizing us for a good part of 20 years.
Really?
You're just now doing it.
I'm so behind on everything.
He was the original guy on American Idol. Oh. That was him. It was him, Randy Jackson, and Paula Abdul. So Randy Jackson was like, I'm not feeling it, dog. And Paula Abdul was like the sensitive one. And then Simon would be like, you're terrible. So whoever told you could sing lied to you. You need to go to Burger King.
Well, maybe that was right here. Yeah, no, it was American Idol that they were showing me.
Yeah, it's American Idol.
Yeah, he's horrible.
Anyway,
but I have to show you one of the things
inshallah, we don't American Idol these.
I know, we won't. I won't be that mean.
But we're not going to lie either. All right, let's do it.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh, it's a live type video. Okay, angle it this way so I can see it.
Pale face screams, get around the main streets. Catch up, focus in on this day. It won't last. Watch your step and your mouth acting trapped. They'll train you and blame you, restrain you. For what? Looking back, it makes sense. The right move, leave you in. Just unwire your desire for this mess. They'll train you and blame you, restrain you. For what? Convinced you will make this count, knowing this isn't safe, hoping they won't figure out you're all the same. You're all the same. Proving you are no good.
Oh. My.
That was really spacey.
Did that remind you of one of the escape rooms we went to?
Yes, it actually did. Actually,
Me too.
It actually did. That main riff. Go back.
That high five at the end makes me think that somebody was working with the aliens.
Where's that riff? Where'd it go?
You said at the end.
Well, the one at the end, I liked it. Right there. That riff was hard. Yeah,
Okay.
like, I'm trying to get I was writing some stuff yesterday. I threw it all away. I was like, nah, it's trash. Guitar-wise. And, like, I was trying to, growing up a Korn fan, Korn didn't do a lot of chug. They did a lot of rhythmic, like, dun, dun, like deep groovy stuff.
Yeah, but if you do something...
I love that style.
If you do something and you think it's trash, you should record it and put it up on our Facebook thing and be like, I had this, but it's trash. People would like to hear your trash riffs. And then people might take it and make something better out of it. It would be fun.
I don't know.
What are you talking about? Everybody that's friends with us, they're all musical people.
I'll put it on Patreon, see. But anyway, this riff right here. I'm trying to find like the secret to come up with groovy riffs that sounded like Korn. This was one of them. I really. I mean, some of it is like not having drop D tuning, right? Like that'll help you.
Okay, so basically...
And then it switched at the end, but it was a good switch. I like the way the riff switched because it went right with the band. Like, I love people that can make something heavy without it being chuggy all the time, because that's where I'm at with my guitar. Blah, 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 blah. But that might have to do with the fact that I don't have like a drummer on tap. Mm-hmm. So everything always sounds better when the drummer gets in there.
I wonder how hard it is to do that, like on the computer when they do that. Like, I wonder if that's something that you could
it's not that hard, but like when Peter, I don't have any I don't have a lot of instincts on drumming, right? So like when I send him something, and then he puts drums on top of it, it's like, oh, that's perfect. And like a lot of these drummers, like they can immediately come up with something, like like you do it a tremolo, like, okay, there's a blast beat's gonna come here, blah blah blah. But like the other stuff and the little accents and things like that, like the drummer guys are just really good at that. So even if I could program drumming, I don't have those instincts. See what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So
yeah.
So I don't know. But anyway, I just love when guitarists can make something heavy without being chugga. Because that's where I'm at right now. Anyway.
So this band is just releasing this today. We're reacting to
Happy New Year, by the way, everyone.
Releasing it at the same time. So prior to this, the name was like hidden. It was unlisted and then it was unnamed, so people wouldn't know what the band name was or the name of the song.
Yeah,
which is a good idea.
We kept it super secret.
Like when I clicked on it, I was like, wait, what? Because I was like, what is the name of this? But then I saw what you said to me. So, okay, couple things. One was when I was putting this video into iMovie, I saw the character with the wig that has the yellow wig. And like I only saw it for a split second because I don't like to see anything before it starts. I saw it for a split second. I said, how cute, they have their grandma in the video. But then I realized it was a mad scientist. So what is this? This, I guess the aliens, like they come down or something comes down and like takes over people because they're so horrible.
I didn't know if like the aliens were a metaphor for something.
That's what I was wondering too.
So it says, paleface screams gather around the main streets. Mm-hmm. Catch up, focus in on this day. It won't last. Watch your step and your mouth and eject. They'll train you and blame you. Restrain you for what? Looking back, it made sense. The right move. Leave you in. Just admire your desire for this mess. They'll drain you and blame you. Restrain you for what? Convinced you will make this count, knowing this isn't safe. Hoping they won't figure out that you're all the same. Proving you were no good from birth, channeling all those wasted years. Soon you'll be washed away, coming to the terms that you're erased. I think this is a society type of thing. Like what society does to, what the group does to the individual, I think is what I took from it. Did you take anything? What did you take from it?
No, I just thought it was like something taking over, like probably not creatures like those aliens, but just something that kind of takes us over. Because there's, you know how like there's the idea of kind of like survival of the fittest, or like you see the pictures of like this thing eating that thing that eats that thing, that, you know what I mean, until somebody's on the top. And then there's kind of like this conversation of, will we always be on the top, or will something come and take us over and they'll be on top? Which is, I think, kind of the fear around like aliens and stuff like that. Yeah. So that, and like he had said something about he wanted to release it like because 2020 was coming to a close or something like that. So I didn't know if it had anything to do with like COVID or something like that. But then as it was going, I was like, no, I don't think so.
I mean, it might. I mean, it depends on when they wrote it.
Yeah. I don't know. I actually would like to hear more songs by them, because I don't know if this is like their style, or if this, because it was like the aliens in there, it kind of felt like if aliens were to make music, that it would kind of, because it had like that choppy sound to it.
It was kind of spacey.
Yeah, so.
And I like the vocalist.
Me too.
The vocalist had a kind of retro style. Like the whole band, like it fit. Like the whole thing fit. I thought they did a really, really good job. I like what the guitarist did. It was like a 3.5 minute song, so it's not a lot you could do. But I like this. I like the guitar. I like the guitarist's guitar work, and I like the singer.
I feel like that guy has a lot of potential of what he could do vocally.
Yes.
Like, and a lot of different styles of music that he could do.
Yeah. They're just, it was tight. So lyrically, it looks like.
I feel like he could do some like drippy, metally love songy sort of.
Yeah, this guy. Oh yeah,
he's got
a lot. They can do a lot of different things. This band. It's so. I globbed onto the watch your step in your mouth. Then they'll train you, and then they'll blame you. Like,
they'll drain you and blame you. Where did you see train you?
Right here. They'll train you and blame you.
Oh.
Restrain you for what? Looking. So it looks like, you know, a group or society like is telling you how to be, and you got to kind of walk on eggshells, watch your step and your mouth.
Yeah. Yep.
And then it talks later about like. Hoping they won't figure out you're all the same, proving you are no good, channeling all these wasted... If I could get this thing off here.
Do you think it has anything to do with...
There it is, channeling all your wasted years. All these wasted years. Soon you'll be washed away, coming to the terms that
you don't think it has anything to do with jail, do you?
I mean...
like how society...
treats prisoners. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I just, like the alien thing as a metaphor, I was like, that's really spacey for a prison. Unless you're saying that society itself is a prison, because like there's stuff you can't say anymore. Like the whole and I get it, like free speech doesn't mean free of consequences, but I mean it's on like 15 right now as far as like what you can say, and there's this sort of societal blackmail that kind of forces everybody to think and act the same way, because if you dare to articulate something that is outside of what we've trained you to say, there are going to be punishments. And so there's a sense in which you're washed away. See, you'll be washed away coming to terms that you're erased. You're erased in the sense of if you stay quiet, then your true feelings about things get erased and you're not allowed to actually be yourself. But then if you conform to them, you're still being erased, because... Or if you don't conform and you say what you actually feel, then you will literally get erased, because these people will cancel you. You know, so I'm not sure if that's where it's going. But you know, the concept, like these alien beings coming in and doing all this stuff. Like if you watch the video, and then at the end, the guy basically surrenders and like makes the alliance with the alien or whatever.
Right.
At the end, and then. Do
you think that was the same guy that was getting arrested? The mad scientist looking person?
I think it was the mad scientist,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was...
Maybe it was. That's so funny, because when I was watching it, that's not what I took from it. I thought it was like, okay, so that guy was getting arrested, but then... So you think the aliens are taking over, but in the end, somebody high-fives the aliens, so then you realize that behind that, it really was another person. taking over the people.
No, I think it was the aliens. They got the guy, they incarcerated him, they brainwashed him, and then at the end, he basically conforms to them. So he goes, the mad scientist ends up going to the show, right? And then the alien's doing his little thing, and then at the end, but he's got the little doctor suit on and everything.
Yeah.
So it looks to me like it's kind of ominous, because it's right at the end. There's that high five with both of their hands, right? And then if you look, it says, soon you'll be washed away, come to terms that you're erased. And so the idea is that I think the alien hand is going to basically suck in the human hand. Like, this guy is it's a foreshadow of the fact that, humanity is over now, because now the aliens have taken over and we're all going to conform. Like, I don't think this is a positive thing for humanity, the little high five at the end between both of them.
Oh, I don't think so.
Because the song is about you being erased. The song is about, it seems like it's about being conformed, and then, this sort of like outside source is training you and telling you what to do, but at the same time blaming you for everything. Mm-hmm. They'll drain you and blame you, and restrain you for what convinced you will make this count. So.
You know how, like, I don't like it when people do this. You'll see, like, videos where they're exposing somebody for a certain thought process that they have.
Yeah.
But I can't think of the exact, maybe you'll be able to think of something, but, like, it would be like, I don't agree with let's say I'm not a Christian and I want to, like, I don't know, burn you with a stake for your Christianity. Mm-hmm. But I come to you and I make it look like I believe you and that I'm, like, on board with you. So you say something and I'll, like laugh with you at different parts, but then, like, after that conversation is over, then I crucify you for the information that I got from you.
Yeah.
But, like, when they, like, fake that they're your friend and that they're on board with what you're saying, and they'll, like, laugh along. Like, you'll see it in political stuff. I'm pretty sure I saw them do it to... Yeah, okay, this is an example. Hillary. Remember when she was talking about how she went over there and, like... blowing something up or killing somebody or something like that. Remember that conversation?
Which one?
And she like laughed about it.
We killed him when she was talking about killing Gaddafi.
And then she said, well, it didn't have anything to do with me, but it did. Remember that whole thing? Remember that conversation?
Yeah.
And like people were like laughing with her about it.
Yeah.
But then like really she came out looking pretty nasty from that conversation. Yeah. And like not the other people. It was about her and how horrible she looked, but they kind of like laughed along with her, but in the moment they were probably like cringing at what she just said. Oh my gosh, which child was that?
Sounds like Orion.
He's been doing that, screaming when he's ready to get up. We better just finish the review. He's good. If it's Orion, he's good. He has this little book.
Some blood curdling.
Well, he was doing it when you were at work, so we had to get him out of his bed. It like really worked for him.
He's smart.
He didn't take his full nap.
Shout out to the homie.
Anyway, so yeah, I can't remember that scream with my mind.
Yeah, so Hillary did that. Everybody's laughing with her, but then they publish it.
Yeah, the whole like we'll train you, but then they'll like turn on you. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
So like kind of setting people up to say certain things or be certain things, and then like turning on them after they do, like getting your use out of somebody and then disposing of them.
Yeah, yeah, and then and you look if you are.
I mean, that could be the music industry also.
Yeah, I mean, any time that the individual, is invested in what the majority think of them or how they perceive them, you're susceptible to this stuff. And you have to be able to stand alone.
I care way too much about what people think.
You just have to be able to stand alone.
Yeah, but how do you
on
get
your convictions?
there?
Well, I mean,
because I feel like your upbringing is what brought you to that place. Like, as a child, you kind of got to the point where you were like, okay, but...
No, I agree. I think a lot of it had to do with my upbringing, and some of it is just my disposition because I like conflict. Mm-hmm. So, you go through these stages. Like, I had to learn, like, my older brother taught me this, like, okay, fine, you're not afraid of conflict, but don't go around initiating it either. Mm-hmm. Because he was more like, I'm going to do everything to keep the peace in that little subculture of our home. Mm-hmm. And it was very hard to play that role on his side. So, you know, I was more like, nope, I don't care. I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to do what I want, and I'll deal with the consequences because this person can't be pleased anyway. So, you know, he was like, you know, we had conflict for years about it. And he finally basically said, fine, you know, be yourself, whatever, but you have to seek out the conflict. Mm-hmm. And that was helpful to me. It probably saved my life on a couple of occasions.
Sure
Shout out to the homie. But, yeah, like, some of it is the upbringing, but again, you know, I don't really feel like any of my brothers really cares about other people's opinions about stuff. My older brother doesn't. I mean, he's not as brash about it as I am, but I don't think he cares at all. Like he's a very like out there thinker about a lot of stuff. My older brother, my younger brother is just, you know, I just don't get that vibe from him.
But I think that like, so like,
my mom was like that. My mom,
she was like that, but she also created situations where if you cared what everybody thinks, you'd never come outside.
Yeah, we'd be in the store, and you know, she thought that there was one time there was like a discount rack thingamajiggy, and the person placed like this ridiculous $250 thing on the $5 rack, and it was clearly it was one of those things where like. It wasn't even like, I don't believe it was the person's error. I think it was one of those things where you pick something up and as a customer and you go, holy shit, this is $500. And then you just put it anywhere in the store. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, my mom saw it. She picked it. And she knew good and well it was not a $5, but, you know, the person's like, oh, I'm sorry. This is she's like, well, I got this from the $5 rack. And the lady was like, yeah, I know. But that's, and my mom was like, she wasn't having it. And she got loud, and then she's like, let me speak to your manager. So the manager showed up, and the manager tries to, and you know, my mom, like, you know, she always put people in those situations, like, because she knew, like, people don't want that type of energy, and they're not going to try to match it, and what are you going to do? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What are they going to do? So she got it. She got the...
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes that like, comes into our conversation, like... We just switched to a particular phone company. I'm not sure if you can say the company or not.
Yeah. I'm not going to.
Anyway.
I give them any free advertising.
No, it's negative advertisement.
Yeah, it's still advertising.
So they like told us that we were going to get like X amount of things or certain things.
Yeah.
And then like it wasn't, like one of the things was they told us when we got our phones that we were going to get like the wireless headphones with it, which was a lie. We didn't get that. There was like a bunch of lies that they told us when we signed up for this thing. And it was like this big confusing mess. And I forgot that's why I originally left that company, was because they create these giant messes that you're so freaking confused by the end that you just say, I'm just going to pay my bill because I'm so confused. Anyway, so this is what happened. And when I got off the phone, you were like, so where's our headphones coming?
Yeah.
And I said, no, she said that the lady didn't give us the right information. And he was like, so you just took that? You didn't say anything? You didn't talk to a manager? Nothing? And I'm like, well, I mean, I said something about it, but it wasn't changing anything. But I felt like you wanted me to come at her with that energy.
100%.
Yeah, I knew it.
100%.
That story was like in my head.
100%.
It was like that $5 rack. He wants his mom's energy right now.
Yeah. And that's how it was. We didn't care. She didn't care. We didn't care. You know what I'm saying? But at the beginning, but my brother cared. My older brother cared. But I didn't. I was like, hey, we got the thing. Wow. I'm most like my mom, though. Because my mom didn't care. She just had a goal she wanted to accomplish, it, period. She didn't care how you felt. She didn't care about how anybody felt. She'd make you uncomfortable. If it was going to accomplish her goal, she just didn't care. And she was just not somebody that you could even try to conform to anything and erase her. She's going to tell her opinion. If my mom had a Twitter and a Facebook, good
oh my
night.
Gosh. See, that energy for me only comes out in two ways now. One is if I'm in a fight with you, or two, if somebody says anything sideways about the kids or to the kids, that's it. And it can only be like slightly sideways, and I get all, this is probably seems unreasonable, but this was like a couple of years ago. I went to the store with Zoe, and I wanted her to come in the fitting room with me because I didn't want to leave her out of the fitting room where I couldn't see her. She's 13 now, so it's different now, but this is like a couple of years ago. The lady was like, she said, oh no, two people can't go in the fitting room at the same time. The hell? Yeah. What? I said, I'm not leaving my daughter outside here while I go try something on. She's coming in the fitting room. They were not happy about it. But I pushed it until they let her go in with me. I'm like, I'm not going to buy this if I don't try it. And I'm not leaving my daughter out with you. No. And then when they were mean to the kids over at the store, because the kids were counting, who's mean to kids when they're counting out their little money and they were asking him, well, how much does this cost? How much does that cost? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, kids go into your store and they steal from you, and my kids are asking you how much the thing costs so they can give you the appropriate amount of money for the object? Like, and you're going to give them a hard time and have an attitude with them and rush them along, and no way.
Well, to me, like the last couple lines, channeling on these wasted years, soon you'll be washed away. Because I feel like people who are conformists or whatever, they're going to hit some point where they're like, yo, I wasted all this time.
Yeah.
You know, situating myself, presenting myself, posting right, blah, 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 blah. And the thing is, it doesn't matter that's the problem with, you know, collectivism, you know, is that it doesn't matter what the individual actually is as a person. If the collective decides you're bad, it doesn't matter what you do. It's like that girl. She was I got my license, nigga. She was 16 years old. She said, nigga. And then, you know.
And it was clearly.
Then you analyze her Facebook and she's
in
like.
In a celebratory way.
Yeah. But you analyze her Facebook. She's pro BLM. She was the George Floyd thing. She's like, donate.
Doesn't matter.
She's like, donate, protest, whatever. But it didn't matter because she said something when she was 16 years old for 3 seconds.
They kicked her out of that university.
And now there's this public punishment that happens. So it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't even matter to these people. Like,
I know, that's why sometimes I'm like...
What you do. So why don't you just try to do your best to be true to yourself and let the chips fall where they may, because you're never going to win if you're trying to get the approval of society as a whole. You will never win. And
everybody's views are so different. So you might be, celebrated by that group, and that group thinks you're a traitor to the country. Yeah,
and a lot of people have a hard time like finding who they actually are as people and what they actually believe and what actually gets them angry and people don't know anymore, especially with social media. People like more and more like people are losing themselves in their ability to understand what they actually believe.
Yeah,
because now we're just prepackaged and told what we believe and what we think and what we feel.
Well,
which is new.
I think part of that is that you can't challenge people. Like things are not challenged where there's like a debate or banter back and forth. It's just you're done.
You pick a tribe, and you have to go with what that tribe says you're supposed to believe and think and feel, and that's it. And you're supposed to dislike the people that they tell you to dislike. It's absolute tyranny. It's insanity.
Yeah.
But it's normalized now, and this is one of the main reasons that, I homeschool the kids. We homeschool the kids because it's like, here we go.
I know, I ain't gonna say I.
Like, it's absolutely insane. Like, I don't think kids in this generation have any hope whatsoever of being able to actually be a self-aware human, because you're just plugged in 24/7. And there's so many voices and so many demands for conformity and things like that. And social media has opened up an entirely new way. It's just insane. It's unbelievable.
And honestly, kids are influenced enough by their own silly thinking. And then when they get around other children who have silly ways of thinking, you know what I mean? Like, I want my kids to be influenced by functioning adults.
Well, that's the problem, is that it's the functioning adults who kicked that girl out of the school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it's ridiculous.
Back in the day, you had kids that were crazy, and then you had the adults who could give you guidance. Now it's not even like that, because now the adults are scared to death of saying the wrong thing on Facebook or whatever. So, I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy, and everything gets construed into whatever, and yeah. And so that's what the song meant for me, and then I thought the alien invasion thing was an interesting metaphor. I'm going to be very interested to see what they say about what they're actually trying to accomplish.
Caterpillar.
Yeah, caterpillar is interesting too, because it's like, they go into a cocoon and they become a butterfly, so maybe, the next song's going to be butterfly or something like that. So maybe the caterpillar stage is when you're being, whatever by society, and then you become a butterfly. What do you get the song?
Okay, so this is an interesting, because I've never actually reviewed a song this way. This song was like 6.5 or a 7 for me. but the vocalist, the musicians, I feel like they have the potential to put a song that I personally would feel like was between a 9 and a 10. So I don't, like I said, I don't know if this is the Alien style of this one kind of made it like where I was like, but all the individual stuff, all the individual pieces I liked. I think I just didn't like the choppy way that the vocalist was doing it, but I think that was to fit the style of the song. But anyway, so that's my thing. So
what's the score?
Well, I'm going with like a 7. I'll go 7.5 because it could go definitely higher than that, but I would need to see more of their stuff.
I think you're absolutely crazy. I think this is a 9. I think
really?
The vocalist was great.
He was.
There wasn't much like you could say on guitar as far as transition. It's a 3.5 minute song. But the guy was able to make the heavy parts, in my opinion, heavy by utilizing the other members of the band and just the energy of the song without it always being chugga 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 chugga, which is very important to me because that's my biggest criticism of myself right now. So it's a 9. It's a good song, good social commentary, interesting video. I will say in the video, anytime I see a band on stage, like I just want to see them on stage. Like I could have, and some of this has to do with the COVID thing because we haven't been able to go out and see a band live.
Oh, I know.
So like I would like. I just want to see them live and rocking out for the whole show because they're actually pretty compelling on stage. Actually, especially that singer. No
How do I
disrespect to the rest
find out
of the band.
who does which part? Because I'd like to know. I'm talking.
You're talking to one of them, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. I want to know which one I'm talking to.
I don't know. Sam Talbarg, I'll say, is the singer. Who knows? But anyway. I would have loved to have seen them just more, but that's just because it's COVID and you know I miss seeing live bands. But the Alien thing was cool, so it's a 9 for me.
this picture on their Facebook is very interesting. Look at all their
everybody's in white
faces.
shirts and he's
yeah,
in
but
black
look at their faces.
Yeah, they're unhappy. All right, there you are, dear listener. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.
Check out more of their stuff. Links are in the description. Bandcamp. Also, they're doing like this thing where you can donate what you want to get the full album. I guess it is.
Whoa, that's
what it said right here. Bandcamp special. Name your price donation for album download.
That's a pretty interesting concept.
You heard it here first. All right.
There you are, dear listener. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.